Good morning. So we're going to start off standing today. So what we're going to do is do some like dynamic lengthening, right? Just to get started and get the blood flowing through our bodies so that we can do our mat Pilates workout today. Towards the end of the workout, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through a series of core 4 stretches. There's 4 of them and they're stretching the core. And so those muscles are your hip flexor complex, right? We're going to be stretching what we call the quadratus lumbarum. It's on the back. And then we'll be stretching through the lats and then through the obliques. Okay, so it's going to feel really great, hopefully. And also the glute max too. So anyhow, let's get started. We're going to start standing. So hopefully I'm going to go far back enough. There we go. And if you have a hand towel or something, a shirt, a sweater, anything that you can kind of hold, let's use that. So yeah, hopefully you guys are all at home and can like scrounge around and get one of these hand towels. Okay, so just starting standing up, we want to be about a hip distance apart here. I know you can't see my feet, but I'm sure you know what feet look like. So we have the ankles, knees, hips, rib cage is right over the pelvis, shoulders, and head and neck. Okay, so just standing nice and relaxed. We're going to start with just decompressing the spine here. So think of reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Here, make sure you're not depressing your shoulders down. Okay, you want to just relax them, keep them wide across the clavicle in the front and wide across the back. Okay, so overly depressing the scapula actually causes a lot of problems here in the thoracic outlet and can create a lot of like nerve damage over time. So we don't want to be squeezing down. Just keep them nice and wide. Think of lengthening your neck. We're going to take an inhale here. Exhale, just start with nodding the chin and you're going to round the spine all the way down. So just rounding the spine, making sure that your pelvis is staying right in line with your ankle joint here. You're going to inhale nice and big into your back. So feeling your back expand. When you exhale, you're going to flatten your back out and lift up your torso. You're going to bring the towel in towards your knees here, okay? So just trying to find that nice neutral. I don't know what's going on. Are you guys back? That's great. All right. It's going to be one of those days. Here we go. Doing that again. So flexing the spine. And then lengthening to your neutral. Here we're going to curl the tailbone under, drop the head, and roll all the way back up again. Okay? So inhaling, exhale, we're going to round down. Now let's take another inhale here and come to that flat back position. Bring the hands right in towards the knees here. Then you're going to drop the arms down around the spine so you should feel your back lengthening and then stacking back up again. We'll just do one more like that. So nodding the chin, rounding the spine, coming down towards the mat with your arms. Inhale, flatten the back out. So here you can also bend the knees, right? If you're having a hard time getting into that flat back position, then you're going to curl the tailbone under, drop the head, and round all the way up again. All right? So we're going to step forward with that right leg. Okay, so you're still hip width apart here. And you're going to bend that front knee, keep the back knee straight. We're going to lift the arms up overhead, and then we're just going to hold. So here I want you to think of imprinting your pelvis, right? So think of bringing your pubic bone up towards your rib cage and straightening out that back leg and pressing your heel down. You should feel some opening through that left hip. Here, we're just going to take it over to this side. So just doing a nice side bend. So I'm actually pulling down with my right arm. I'm pulling that towel down. I'm keeping my other arm overhead here. And I'm going to inhale, come back up again. And again, I'm taking it over towards that right side. So I'm pressing my heel down. You can't see that, but on that back foot, I'm pressing the heel down, keeping my back leg straight. And then coming up, my arms are going to come down. I'm just going to take this back and then step forward with that left. Okay, so just that staggered stance. I'm going to reach my arms overhead. I'm going to bend my front knee, and I'm going to think of like imprinting here, okay? So we don't want to be arching the back like so. We want to think of kind of tucking the pelvis under and then bending that front knee to get more of a stretch or an opening through that right hip. I'm pressing my back heel down. So just holding right here. I'm going to take a big inhale. Then I'm going to take this over to the left, right? So just reaching through that back heel, and I'm stretching through that whole lateral line here. Inhale, I come back up again, and one more time. So exhale, I take it over to the side. You should feel the front of your hips opening, coming up, and then right back to that starting position, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and lay down on the mat here. So I'm gonna switch this camera angle. There we go. Lying all the way down onto the mat. So if you have that towel, you can use this behind your head if you need it to help keep your head in cervical alignment. All right. So just laying flat on the mat here. We're gonna start with a nice big breath. So inhaling, feeling the rib cage expand out to the side, to the back, and to the front. And exhale and just contract your abdominals and pull your abs nice and tight without changing the shape of that neutral spine, okay? And again, so we're gonna inhale here nice and big, and exhaling. So as you're breathing, I want you to think about how your body feels on the inside against the mat, okay? So feel your sacrum nice and heavy on the mat. Feel the back of your ribs on the mat here, crown of your head. Shoulders are nice and relaxed, okay? We're gonna take this back into some pelvic rocking with the pelvis. So we're gonna rock the pelvis back into that posterior pelvic tilt, and then take it the other way into an anterior pelvic tilt. So rocking the pelvis forward and back here. So we're moving in what we call a sagittal plane movement, right? So we're not really challenging rotation or anything like that here. We're just allowing that movement to happen through full range without any strain. And you're gonna find someplace in between those 2 points. That's your neutral position, okay? So when our feet are down, pretty much wanna be in that neutral position, okay? So from here, we're gonna float the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Let's turn the palms to face in here. We're gonna reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling and protract the scapula, and then just come back to neutral here. And again, so we're gonna reach up and protract the scapula, and then coming back to neutral. And keep going. With this, we'll do 2 more. So we're protracting, coming back to neutral, and just one more time we reach and come back just to neutral. Now we're gonna retract, so slide those shoulder blades closer together on your back, and then just try to find that neutral placement again, okay? And again, so we're gonna retract here and come back to neutral. Give me a couple more here, retracting. So I'm deliberately moving my shoulder blades, keeping my arms from moving, and coming right back to neutral here. We're gonna do some arm circles, so that's gonna create some upward and downward rotation on our back with our shoulder blades. I'm gonna reach up towards the ceiling and then circle around. So yeah, mobilizing the shoulders here, but I'm also feeling the shoulder blades move on my back. Here I'm not moving my spine. Okay, so you wanna keep your rib cage heavy on the mat, keep your sacrum down, feel nice and heavy there too, and let's reverse that. Inhale, we circle, getting some really nice mobilization and blood flow in through that shoulder joint. So we're not squeezing the shoulder blades down or together or anything like that. We're allowing for that movement to happen, okay? Super important. Let's do one more. Should feel good. All the way around. Awesome. All right. So right here, we're gonna bring the knees and feet together and bring the hands out to the side, palms face up. And we're just gonna do some rocking side to side here. So just a little mobilizing of the lower spine with some rotation. We don't wanna force anything. You're actually just warming up through that fascia on the back just by stimulating it. So when we're leaning against the mat and rubbing, this helps with the blood flow and helps to break up adhesions if we have some, but just helps to keep that back healthy, and that fascia allows it to have that slide and glide which really helps with functional movement. That's why we're doing it. All right, one more time here, side to side, and we come all the way up. Okay, I'm going back to my hip width apart with my legs here. I'm gonna bring my arms right down by the side. We're gonna do an ab prep, but first we're gonna inhale and just nod the chin, just slightly. So with this head nod, I'm not jamming and pressing my head down really hard into the mat. I'm just looking down slightly and allowing my chin to come a little bit closer down towards my chest, but I still have about the size of a fist, right? Right underneath my chin and my chest here. I want to keep that open. I'm going to lift my upper back up, okay? So I have 2/3 of my scapula is pretty much off of the mat here, and it's the abs that do that motion. So I'm not pulling up by using my neck, right? I'm keeping that space. I'm just flexing through my abdominals, hold inhale here, and exhale, I'm going to lengthen back down. And then I come back to neutral with my cervical spine or my neck. Same thing, right? Inhale, just nod the chin. Exhale, I'm going to take it up. I'm looking at my knees here. So in that ab prep position, if my eyes float up towards the ceiling like that, I'm going to actually strain my neck, okay? So we want to make sure that we're not doing that. So just keeping that eye level at the knees, and then we roll down. And that's the same with all of our ab work, where we're in the ab prep position, using our legs and our arms. We want to kind of keep the eyes going towards the knees. We're going to hold one more time here, and exhale to come all the way down. All right, so there's our ab prep. We're going to do a little bit of mobilization. So bring the feet in towards your pelvis a little bit more. Nothing behind the head here. Shoulders are wide. We're going to press down into the mat with the arms and then rock the pelvis back and roll up for a nice easy hip roll. Hold inhale here. Exhale and roll through the spine, lengthen back to neutral. We're going to inhale. Exhale, rock that pelvis back, and then we're going to roll all the way up. Energy up through the knees here, really engaging those glutes, okay? And rolling down. So yeah, this is a good mobilization for the spine, but it's also great to fire up those glutes and the abdominals here, okay? I'm pressing into the mat, and that's recruiting my lats right here, okay? And then rolling down. Let's just do one more like that. So really press into the mat, engage your glutes, engage your abdominals. Take it up, hold, inhale here, exhale, and with control, we come down, all the way down, right? We're just gonna add some rotation here. So we're gonna twist, bending the knees up. I'm gonna support my head right here in my hand. So yeah, I love to do this rotation, right? In the warm up and throughout, because it really helps to emphasize the movement through the thoracic spine. So I'm gonna take my left hand, wrap it under my rib cage here, and I'm going to pull and twist my upper spine here. I'm squeezing my knees together, and then I'm going to come right back, okay? Again, so I'm going to inhale. I'm going to twist my spine, pulling on my rib cage to help emphasize that thoracic rotation. And again, so we should have most of our mobility in the upper spine, not in the lower spine, okay? Your lower spine is built more for stability. So in terms of rotation, we want to be having that happen where the rib cage is, right? That's our thorax, our thoracic spine. One more time. And we twist. And just coming back. We're going to do the other side really quickly, and we'll get started, okay? So supporting my head with my hands here. I'm bending my knees. I'm squeezing my knees together and holding my hand under my rib cage. If you're here, that's okay too. You can still have that same effect, okay? If you can't quite grasp all the way underneath. And we're going to inhale and twist, and exhale, just come back, all right? And inhale and twist. So if you wake up and you have like, your neck is really stiff, right? Particularly the neck, and even sometimes the lower back, this is a great way to kind of bring that mobility to your upper spine and help release your neck. It may not happen exactly at, you may not have only one time to do it, right? You can do it a few times throughout the day. Over time, it helps to really release hinging through the neck and lower back. Let's do one more here. And exhale, twist. I'm pulling on my rib cage. Inhale. And exhale, just coming right back to that center position. Okay? I'm going to flip over here onto my stomach. We're going to warm up our upper back this time. So keeping the lower back stable. So we don't want to be moving from the pelvis. Right, we're moving from the upper spine. Hands are going to come right down by the side here. So I'm thinking of lengthening through the crown of my head. I'm going to press my arms down, and I'm going to come up for my upper back. So here, I'm not extending my cervical spine so much. I'm just having it follow the line of the spine. So my eye level is at close to the top of the mat here. Gonna inhale and exhale to come down. All right, so I'm holding, inhaling. As I'm coming up, I'm looking towards the top of the mat, keeping my elbows down, sliding my shoulders down a little bit and a little closer together on my back. Hold here, and then exhale to come back down again. And again, so we inhaling. Exhale to come up. My glutes are engaged here to keep me out of my lower back. Hold, inhale, and exhale to come down. You want your legs nice and quiet, so we don't want the legs lifting, okay, with this. One more time, inhale. Exhale, we come up. Hold here, inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Let's place the fingertips under the forehead right here. So we're gonna inhale, exhale, just come up for that hover. Hold here, inhale. Exhale and come down. So when we do this, you wanna start with a stable scapula. Hold here, inhale. Exhale, head and neck follows the line of the spine. Take a big breath. Exhale to come down. And again, inhale here. My pelvis should be staying neutral. Holding, inhale. And exhale to come down. Last one here. And exhale. Hold, inhale. And exhale to come all the way down. All right, so I'm taking this back for a shell stretch here, okay? So rounding the spine, going back. Bringing it back towards my heels, stretching out through my lats here. Big inhale. And we're gonna get started here. So we're just gonna start with that half roll back, and then we're gonna take this into obliques, roll back, and then full roll ups, okay? So that's gonna be our little ab series with mobility here. So starting sitting up on top of the sit bones here, I'm reaching my arms forward. My knees are slightly bent here, and I'm gonna flex my spine forward, okay? I'm looking down at my knees, bend my knees a little bit more. I'm gonna roll back, turn my palms to face up, and then rolling back up again to that starting position. So exhale. So I'm just turning my palms up just to mobilize my shoulder joint a little bit. So this is actually externally rotating my shoulder joint. And I'm starting to open my arms out to the side just a little bit, like so. Okay, kind of like butterfly. Just a tad. Now I'm gonna start going bigger and bigger with that arms, yeah, and then roll back, just combining, just so that when we start doing that reformer work, that we'll be a little bit more familiar with some of the arm work we're gonna be adding with that intermediate work. Woo, because we're gonna be so strong from doing this mat work that we can add so much more now with the reformer, right? And one more time. So we roll back here and arms come up and over. Let's stack the spine up here. We're gonna take this into a half roll back. So tucking the pelvis under and reaching the arms. And inhale, we come up. And again, so we tuck the tailbone under and we reach. So this is our obliques roll back. So we're starting facing forward, twisting and reaching, right, as we roll back. Keeping the head and neck tension free. Yep, and we're gonna do 3 more like that, tucking under and reaching. And 2, feeling those abs kick in hopefully, right? And 1 more here. And we reach. We're gonna do the other side. So we're sweeping that arm down, tucking under and rolling back. Here we go. And so we wanna make sure both sides of the pelvis are evenly weighted here and that you're actually twisting. So if you look down, you wanna make sure that your sternum, your belly button, and your pubic bone are in that same line. Okay, so you can check it out, right? Yep, there we go, perfect. Let's do 4 more. So rolling back, nice dynamic movement, feeling those abs kick in. The delts are also working just by holding your arms up, which is really nice here. And 2 more, here we go. Inhale, exhale, we rock back. And we do 1 more here. Tucking the tailbone under, bringing it all the way up. Let's roll all the way down. Stretch those legs out. Reach the arms overhead. So hip distance apart is going to give me more mobility through the hip joint here. So I'm going to go hip width, reaching my arms overhead, but I'm not popping through the rib cage. I'm gonna inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling here. Exhale, nod the chin, and I'm gonna roll up. So roll up and I'm reaching here, keeping my spine rounded. And I'm gonna tuck the tailbone under to roll down. I'm rolling through imprint and finding neutral. Inhale, the arms reach towards the ceiling. Exhale, nod the chin, and I roll up here. Inhale, I'm gonna roll back down. So I'm allowing my shoulder blades to protract slightly, right? And to elevate, but not too much. I'm not letting them go all the way up into my ears, okay? I'm just allowing for a little bit of movement to happen. So really your body should just do that over time. We don't even really need to think about it. We're gonna do one more, here we go. Inhale, exhale, and that's what functional movement is. Eventually your body just does it without you thinking about it. So we're gonna hold right here, right up on top of the sit bones. If you need to bend your knees, then you can go ahead and bend your knees. We're reaching the arms right out. I'm gonna straighten my knees up and we're gonna do twisting. So we're gonna pulse for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to center. And again, so I'm rotating through my upper spine. My head and neck are just following along. My pelvis might come with me a tiny bit and that's okay. But I do want to think about trying to isolate that movement through the middle of my spine, okay? So my feet should be kind of staying in that same line with each other. 3. And again, pulse. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Couple more here. 1, 2, 3. And last set right here. 1, 2, and 3. Inhale here. Exhale, the arms come down. All right. I'm going to roll all the way down onto my back here. We're going to do one leg circle. So mobilizing the hip joint while maintaining the spine stable. Okay. So stretching my leg down the mat. My right leg is at tabletop. I'm in neutral with the pelvis here, okay? And I'm gonna extend my knee up towards the ceiling. So if you can't get your thigh vertical with your knee straight, bend your knee a little bit, okay? That way we create a good balance through the hip joint. So I'm gonna send my arms out away from my body a little bit, and that's gonna just help me with some support through my spine. So I'm gonna inhale, cross the midline, and then exhale down and around. And again, so I'm going to inhale. We're going to do 5 in each direction. Crossing the midline here. My shoulders are nice and wide. I don't feel any tension through my neck. Let's do one more. And here we go. Hold. So we're going to inhale to go away from the body. Here I'm pressing down with my left leg and bring it up and around. And again, inhaling. So I'm working my torso against rotation here because it really wants to twist. And that's what I'm doing. I'm working those abs and my back muscles against unwanted movement. And we're going to do last one right here. Hold, inhale. So exhale, we bend that knee and then reach it down the mat. Okay? Let's bend that left leg up to tabletop here. I'm really stretching my right foot down the mat and I'm pressing down with my heel. I'm going to extend that leg and make sure I can maintain my neutral position through my spine. I'm going to bring that leg across the body and then take it around. All right, and again, so I'm going to inhale for the first part of the circle and exhale second part of the circle. Trying to keep my knee nice and straight, using my quads to pull up on my kneecaps here. Couple more. Woo! And the last one. Nice mobilization. Let's reverse that. So inhale, we take that toe away. Oops. And then cross the midline and bring it up. All right. So I'm hitting some things with my foot. That's okay. And let's do 2 more like that. So taking it away from the body, just pressing down with that opposite foot. It's going to really help me to stabilize on that opposite side. Inhale, exhale, bend that knee, and we bring it in. All right, so I'm going to curl those toes up, reach my arms overhead here. I'm going to take this up for a transitional roll up. So rolling all the way up. And then I'm going to lengthen and stack, okay? So we're going to take this into rolling like a ball. So let's bend those knees up. So our weight here is going to be in between our sacrum and our sit bones. You want to try and get your shoulders in line with your hips, okay? It's going to be challenging to get those feet up And your shoulders are going to go back a little bit, so you're not necessarily going to have that vertical line, but we want to work towards that. Okay, so my feet are lifted, my legs are together, my hands are on the outside of my shins here. I'm going to inhale, I'm going to change the breath pattern. I'm going to exhale, deepen my flexion, roll back onto my thoracic spine, and then control that return up again, okay? So I'm not rolling onto my neck here, I'm just rolling on to my upper back, and I'm keeping this C curve, right? So I'm not releasing my abs, and then coming back up again, okay? And so we're gonna do, let's see, 6 more like that, because we wanna do around 10. I'm keeping this crunch, keeping the space between my hips and my ribs the same. All right, and 5. I'm not throwing my head back, so I'm just looking at my knees. 4. Actually squeezing my knees together. Yes, so nice and slow on that return. Let's do 2 more. So this is actually endurance for your abs, believe it or not. And last one right here. So we're gonna bring the arms back behind us. I want you to lift your chest up here and then come down onto your forearms. We're gonna take this into a hip twist with bent knees. So here it's really important that you're not collapsing your body like this, right? So you're pushing your elbows away, you're lengthening your spine. A little bit of an imprint here is okay, and I'm looking towards my knees. So what I'm gonna do is straighten my legs out. Here we go. And we're gonna do a circle with the legs together. So we're gonna go to the right. So I'm gonna just shift my legs over to the right, come down as low as I can maintain my imprint, go over to the left, and then come back up to the center. All right, and here I'm still pushing my elbows into the mat. I'm gonna reverse that circle. So I'm gonna inhale, shift over to the left, come down, maintaining that connection with my core, and then back up again, right? So you can do this with bent knees too. Okay, I'm gonna take it over to the right, come down. It's still really challenging for the core, and then around. Okay, we're gonna do the other side. And then, so we're inhaling the first 3/4 of that circle, and then exhaling, coming back around, okay? Because we wanna use that exhale to help us come back up. I'm gonna straighten my knees out. We're gonna do 2 more. So we're gonna circle, sets, and coming up around. 1 more on that side, and we're gonna do 1 more full set. All right, last set here, inhaling. I should feel those abs, particularly more internal obliques, so lower down, okay, with those. Hold, inhale, bend the knees in, feet come down. Let's roll all the way down. Woo. Hopefully you felt that, right? It's a really awesome internal oblique exercise along with the hip flexors. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna bring the knees together and scoot the feet right in towards the pelvis a little bit. We're gonna do good shoulder bridges here. So we're gonna inhale, hold here, exhale, just pick the hips up. So if you feel some tightness in your knees or your hips, separate your feet just a little bit and your knees. You're gonna push down with the mat here, inhale, hold, exhale, just place the hips back down, all right? So we're inhaling here, exhaling, just picking the hips up. So this is our prep for a shoulder bridge. We're gonna hold, inhale, exhale, just putting the pelvis down, okay? So nice and easy. Inhale, exhale, we're gonna take it up and hold. So holding right here, we're going to just lift the right heel up off the ground. Now without changing the shape of your pelvis, you're gonna lift it to tabletop. Here we go. Now we're gonna place that foot down, toe first, then heel. Okay, so the challenge here is not to rotate, not to drop down on one side, okay? So we're gonna inhale, exhale, just lift that left heel up and then to tabletop, all right? And here we go, we're gonna lower that down. Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit more dynamic with that. So we're gonna inhale, lift, exhale, lower, okay? Starting with the right. So inhale, we lift up, exhale, we lower. So remember to articulate through your feet with this. Inhale, left leg up, and exhale, we lower. And again, inhale, right leg, exhale, and we lower. Inhale, left, exhale, and lower.
2 more. Inhale left. That was right. Here we go. Inhale left that time. Yeah. And 1 more set. And right. Without moving through the pelvis or spine here, we're just lifting those legs. And come down, hold, inhale here. And exhale, just place the pelvis down so we're not rolling up here, okay? So we're gonna take the right leg and cross it over the left knee, okay? So that ankle is resting on that left knee, and bring that right heel in towards your seat a little bit. Keeping the pelvis level here, we're just gonna pick up the pelvis. Engage the glutes. Think of sending that knee out and down, okay? And we're going to lower and lift here. So think about the left glute. So we're gonna lower and lift, not all the way down, just a few inches, right? And really use those glutes to pull and open through the front of the hip. And 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last one here. Let's take that leg, extend it, bend the knee, replace it down. Let's bring the pelvis all the way down right here. So we're gonna take that left ankle, cross it over the right knee, bring that right knee in towards your seat a little bit. Now hold, inhale here. Exhale, pick the hips up and send that knee down. Yep, keeping the hips nice and level here. We're going to lower and lift. So just dropping that pelvis down a little bit and coming up. And again, and we lower and we lift. Lower and lift. So we're doing just 5 more here for a total of 8. I'm pressing down into the mat with my arms, keeping those glutes engaged. We have 2 more. And last one here. Woo! Let's take that left leg and extend the knee up. Then bend the knee and replace it down. Hold, inhale here. Exhale, just place the pelvis down, right? There's our shoulder bridge. Woo! So let's bring that knee in. Let's rock up. We're gonna do some more ab work, but more in the form of like a plank, okay? So we're gonna flip over this way. So let's start with on the forearms and coming down, right? Just like so, in like our old school gym plank, right? So here, let's just start with protracting and retracting the scapula just to help find our stability through our shoulder girdle. We're gonna find that neutral position someplace in between those 2 points. Pull the abs nice and tight. Think no wrinkles in the back of the neck here. We're gonna stretch out that left leg, okay? So keeping your toe down, just straightening the knee up here, okay? We're gonna hold, take an inhale, exhale, lift that leg. Now we're gonna hold, take an inhale, and then we're gonna lower and lift. Exhale, lift, inhale, and exhale. We have 6 more here, not moving the spine. 5, working against rotation. 4, and 3, 2, and just 1 more. That toe comes down, we bend the knee in, inhale, exhale, let's just drop the hips down, come all the way down, give yourself a mini break here, relaxing those shoulders, because we're gonna come back up again and do the other leg. So just elbows down, coming up into that plank, I'm on my knees, just holding. Let's start with some retraction and protraction of the scapula. So just feeling those shoulder blades move on your back, the spine's not moving, find someplace in between. We're gonna stretch out that right leg. So my toes staying down, inhale, hold, exhale, lift that leg up without rotating the spine. Inhale here, exhale, lower, and lift. We're doing 8 of these without rotating the pelvis. We have 6, using those glutes to lift that leg. And 4, and 3, 2, and just 1 more here. Toe comes down, knee comes down. Let's take it over to the side. Woo! All right, so our side leg series here. So we're gonna do this in this position, although if you have problems with your shoulders or your neck, you can definitely come all the way down, okay? We're gonna start with our side kick. So right here, I'm gonna stretch
my top leg out. I'm going to dorsiflex my ankle joint here. And I'm working on trying to keep my spine from collapsing, okay? Also from twisting and rotating when I'm bringing that leg forward and back, okay? So holding right here, I'm gonna inhale, kick this leg forward, a double kick. I wanna keep this space nice and long. So kick, kick, and then exhale. I'm keeping this space here between my hips and my ribs the same. I'm gonna engage my glutes to bring my leg into hip extension, pointing my toe, okay? Then I'm gonna come forward and I'm gonna kick, kick. Exhale, I sweep that leg back. I'm almost thinking of imprinting here, okay? Exhale, I kick, kick, and reach back. I just switched that breath pattern by accident. It's actually inhale coming up, 2, and then exhale back and engage, all right? And again, kick, kick, and then back. Woo, such a great exercise to work the muscles surrounding your torso, right? And also it's great for balancing the hips. Let's take that leg nice and long. We're gonna do some abduction. So let's lower that leg down. We're gonna keep the toe pointed. We're gonna just lift up, flex the foot, and then lower. All right, so point and lift, flex and lower. So I'm pushing away with the mat here. Flex and lower, point and lift, flex and lower. I'm gonna do 4 more like that. Point, lift, flex, lower, and 3. I'm pointing my toe, lifting, I'm flexing my foot and bringing it down. Yeah? We're gonna do 1 more like that. Point and lift, flex and lower. All right, let's point that toe. Let's lift up. We're gonna do circles here. So we're gonna circle forward, down, back, and around. All right? Let's inhale and then exhale, second half of the circle. So inhaling and exhale. We're just gonna do 5 in each direction here. So we have 2 more. Trying not to move the pelvis and spine. Yeah? Last one here. Inhale, exhale. Now guess what? Reverse. So back, down, forward, and around. And again. Yeah? So think of reaching that leg out from your body. Yeah? Send that energy away. You should be feeling this at this point, right? And we have 1 more right here. Hold. Bend that knee, bring it in. Woo! Hopefully you felt that. We're going to do the other side. So swinging those legs around. So again, we have those different modifications where you can be laying down on your side here. You want to make sure you're not collapsing your spine down into the mat, into a laterally flexed position. And then we can be on the forearm, okay, which is where I'm going to be. So we're bending the knees, right? I've got a neutral position through my spine. So if I were to look this way, or if I had a camera up here, you would see all the natural curves of my spine. My head and my neck would be right in line with the center of my rib cage here, okay? I'm pushing my arm away. So in this position, it's tension-free, but I'm working. I'm feeling like I'm actually working to be in this position, okay? So you should be feeling that as well. So we're gonna send that leg away. We're gonna dorsiflex the foot. So your foot and your hip should be in a horizontal line, okay? So we don't want that leg dropping down here or have it to be too high. It's just in the same line as your hip joint, okay? So we're gonna kick that leg forward, right? Keeping the distance between your hips and your rib cage. So it's almost like you don't want to be folding here, right? You want to keep that nice and long. You're going to kick up and then sweep the leg back. So as you go back, you're actually thinking you don't want to release, right? So it's kind of the opposite. And then as you come forward, you want to think of almost lengthening this space, right? And then as you go back, you want to think of shortening that space, right? And again, so we're going to kick, and then take it back. Here's your breath. So you're going to inhale and exhale back and engage the glutes to bring that leg behind you. Remember, push away and then back. And again, and kick, and exhale and back. And let's keep going with that. And we take it back and we do 2, 1, 2. And last one here. Kick, sweep it back. There we go. Let's reach and extend that leg up here. We're gonna lower and lift. So let's start with lowering that leg down. We're keeping the toe pointed here. I'm going to exhale, dorsiflex my foot and lower. So I'm gonna point and lift. Exhale, flex my foot and lower. So inhale, point and lift. Exhale, flex and lower. So inhale, point and lift. Exhale, flex and lower. So with my hand wrapped under my rib cage here, I'm actually able to really emphasize that breath pattern, that inhaling big into the rib cage, and then exhale, I'm feeling my rib cage close down and in. And we have 3 more like this. And 2. And let's do 1 more. Up and flex and down. All right, let's inhale, point the toe, bring it up and hold. We're gonna do our leg circles, 5 in each direction. So we're gonna go forward, down, exhale, back and around. Okay, so let's inhale, forward and down, and exhale, back and around. Just 3 more like that. Woo, I'm already feeling it. And 2. And last one here, and we hold. Let's reverse that. Back, down, up and around. And again. Woo, let's do 3 more. Down, up and around, 2 more like that. It's so important for balancing the hips. And last one, circle, hold, bend that knee, bring it in. Woo, get that blood flow. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do some more abdominal work here, but we're gonna work a flexion-free ab series, okay? So laying on our backs here, all the way down, head is down. Definitely use something under your head if you need to keep your head and neck in alignment with your spine, okay? So what I'm gonna do is imprint my spine here. And remember that imprint is so slight and we're not using the glutes or pressing into the mat with the feet to get to that imprint. It's really slight. Lift my right leg to tabletop without moving through my spine. My left leg's going to lift up, okay? So already you should feel how just by holding your legs up, your abs have kicked in, right? So from here, I'm gonna just send my legs away from my body a little bit at a time just to give me a little bit more resistance so that I feel my abs kick in a little bit more, okay? So if you don't need to do that, that's okay. But we don't wanna be way out here. We just wanna add a little bit more resistance there. So my arms are down by the side for right now. We're gonna do some toe taps. Okay, so I'm just gonna take my right toe and just tap it down. Go nice and slow with that and then bring it back up again. So I'm not putting the whole weight of my foot down. When I do that, I'm thinking about how going slow enough that I can feel the change in how I have to work my abs to tap down. Okay, so go nice and slow. You're working the whole time. We're gonna inhale, reach that toe away, feel those abs connect, and then bring it up again, nice and slow. All right, we're just gonna do 1 more like that. And we're gonna inhale, reach away, and exhale, that leg comes back up. We'll do the other side. Here we go. So left leg. So I'm reaching away, inhaling, feeling how I have to work that ab. And then the ab, I don't know where that came from, the abdominals, and reach. So reaching that toe away and then bringing it back up again. Yeah, and here we go again. And we reach. You should feel this. You should feel how your abs are working, but it shouldn't necessarily be killing you, right? And reach away. All right, good with that. Okay, so let's reach the arms up towards the ceiling. So what this is gonna do is decrease our base of support. Okay, so we're gonna alternate toe taps with the legs. So let's take the legs away from the body a little bit. If you need to add that challenge, I'm gonna tap down with that right leg and then bring it back up again. Now I'm gonna tap down with my left. So just alternating. So do you feel how now having your arms up, how this is a little bit more challenging, right? Hopefully you do. And that's something we wanna work. We wanna build mind and body awareness, all right? Because Pilates is a mind-body exercise like yoga, like our movement should be. Combine our mind and body because it does work together, right? So start thinking about how when we add these different subtle changes, how it actually changes the amount that you have to work, all right? And we're gonna do 1 more with that left. And then we come up, all right?
If you need a break, if you need to put your feet down, go ahead and put your feet down. Otherwise, we're gonna add, okay? So we're gonna take that right hand, and it's gonna go overhead like this, right? And we're gonna combine that with the right knee reaching away. So here, and then we come up, all right? Just 4, and 3 more like that. So feel how different that is with your spine. So now you actually have to work not to let that rib cage lift off, right? So your abs are working and challenging. Good, other side. So left arm reaches up, left toes taps down, and then come up. I'm tongue-tied today. And again, here we go. We're gonna do 2 more like that. And we reaching away, keeping those abs nice and tight. And 1 more. And we come up right here. All right. So here we're gonna send the legs away from the body, right? But not so far that you feel your neck tense up, okay? So just send those legs away. We're gonna do some arm work, okay? So keeping those legs stable, we're gonna reach the arms out. Feel how that changes how you have to work your abdominals, right? And inhale, pull those abs in tight. Exhale to come up. 2 more like that. Inhale, we open. Exhale, so squeeze those knees together. That's gonna help you get more core work. Here we go. Hold here, we're gonna do right arm for 4. Here we go, right arm reaches out. So now we're working against rotation. And do you feel how your body kind of wants to hike up on one side or twist? Don't let it. Last one here. Almost done, we're just gonna do 1 more set. So the left arm comes out for 4. And 3, pull those abs in tight. The challenge is not moving the spine. 2, 1 more here, and we reach and bring those knees in, and then feet come down. Let's see, awesome. So we're gonna reach the arms overhead here. We're gonna circle the arms. We're gonna take this into an ab prep, but with this ab prep, we're gonna come up and reach towards the knees. So we're gonna come down, circle the arms up, and then reach, and then come down, circle the arms, and reach, almost like an ab crunch. I'm also tilting my pelvis here too, okay? So we're not necessarily stabilizing, right? We're allowing for that pelvic tilt as we come up, right? We're gonna do 2 more, so you should feel those abs. And 1 more. We're just telling them who's in charge, hold here. So let's bring the legs to tabletop right here. We're gonna do some hundreds. 1, 2, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. If your neck is challenging you, put your hand behind your head. Let yourself get supported. Also, your head can be all the way down. All right? And in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. More challenge. Send your legs away from your body, right? We have 4 more sets. 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. You can lower the legs. And 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. And last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 2, 3. Hold here. Bend the knees in. Woo! Feet come down. Upper body comes down. Let's stretch those arms out overhead here. Take a big inhale. Woo! Exhale, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Nod the chin. Roll to your ab prep. Then take it up and over. We're gonna round the spine here. Yeah, and then lengthen, stack all the way up. Okay, now we're gonna roll all the way down. Just articulating through the spine and reaching, stretching through the whole front line. Inhale, the arm reaches. Exhale, nodding the chin, and we're rolling up. And then lengthen and stack all the way up. All right. So I'm going to go through the core 4 stretches right now, and hopefully you will enjoy them because they're super important. And I find like almost everyone who I've spoken with or done Pilates with on one-on-one or in our group settings here, people are just talking about how tight they are these days, okay? And me included, I feel like I'm just not as mobile as I normally am, okay? So starting with the core 4 stretches here. So we're gonna go onto the knees. I'm gonna reach my
I'm going to adjust that camera, but anyways, if you can get into position and we can start here. So just reaching that right leg forward, left leg back, okay? So I'm going to lift this up just a teeny tiny bit here. That should do the, nope. Just a teeny tiny bit. Hopefully get my head in there. I'll just scoot this back. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. So we're activating a stretch through the hip complex, okay? That left hip here. I'm engaging my glutes on the left side and I'm lunging towards the front, okay? So, and that is happening at my hip joint, not through my spine. So I'm thinking of keeping my rib cage over my pelvis as I bend that knee and bring it up, okay? So this is just a level 1 right here. Now it's activating my hip flexors, all right? So from here, I'm going to take an inhale and I'm going to reach my left arm up and over. That is including my whole lateral line too. All right, so we've got the lats, my obliques, right? But also my hips. So it's the front line and the side line. We're going to activate that even more. So as you feel that hip open, you can bend your right knee and just feel how that deepens that stretch a little bit. All right, so we're just gonna hold here. Now we're gonna take this stretch over to the side. So we're gonna go to the right side here. So I'm actually pushing my left hip over towards the left as I just side bend. Feel how that changes the fibers, right? Over to the side, so just a side bend, right? So I'm really feeling those obliques, right? You may just feel more hip. We're all so different, right? So we're going to change this time. Now we're going to twist, right? We're going to open the chest towards the ceiling. So you're going to turn towards the left, look up towards the ceiling and really push into that left hip, right? So we're spiraling that. Hopefully you feel that, feel how that changes. You can deepen it by bending that right knee. Let's come back to center, drop that arm down. All right, so that's that whole hip flexor complex, right? Let's switch that out. So we're gonna take the other leg. All right, so you want to try to keep your hips as square as possible. And we're gonna bend that left knee, right? So remember here, we wanna keep that rib cage in line with the pelvis. We wanna be moving here at the hip joint. So with this hip, I'm actually flexing my hip. This, I'm extending my hip, okay? And so I'm just feeling that stretch. It's not too intense. Now, when we have different things happening through the body, sometimes you may be stretching, but you don't actually feel that opening through that hip. But over time, you should be able to feel that once your hips become more balanced, right? So here, this is just level 1. Straight on stretching through the front of the hip there, okay? So we're gonna lift that right arm up towards the ceiling, right? This is just that level 2. Feel how that increases that stretch, right? Or that feeling of that active lengthening, okay? So still with stretching, we don't wanna be collapsing into the stretch, right? You still wanna be active and lifting away. So if I'm think of lifting my spine and reaching my hand up towards the ceiling, might feel a little bit more of a stretch rather than collapsing, right? So here I'm going to take it over to the side. So a side bend, and I'm pushing my right hip out to the side as I do that. I'm feeling a lot of opening now through that right hip. I'm going to take a big inhale, and I'm going to open my chest and twist. I'm going to look up towards the ceiling, so I'm getting even more of a stretch too. This is also challenging the balance, right? I really feel that opening up through that whole oblique line, the hip flexors, so the psoas, iliacus. Woo. And I'm going to come back to that center. Woo. And then step back, and I'm going to do a little glute series here with you. I think we have time. Yeah, we have time for that glute series. So we're actually going to be sitting in this position here. So hopefully that's not uncomfortable for you. let's see here. So I want my knee in the center of the mat here, so pointing towards the center of the mat, and then my back leg is going to come back. This is immediately rotated, okay? And my my left foot's going to be against that knee, like so. I'm going to turn my body so that my knee is in line with the center of my chest, okay? And this may feel like a stretch for some of you through the glutes, all right? And then I'm going to come down, so just straight down towards that knee. Right, I'm keeping my arms straight here, reaching them forward a little bit so I can get deeper. And I'm thinking of relaxing into that left hip. Then I'm going to come down, bending the elbows here, right? May not feel like a huge, intense glute stretch, but it's still actively lengthening, right? Which is really good, actually gets that blood flow going, okay? So you can bring your head down, you can relax onto that knee. So the lower you get, the deeper that stretch. And then from here, we're going to come up and we're going to walk over with our hands to the left. Okay, so as you do that, think of pushing this hip forward a little bit, right? And walk over until your body stops, all right? Here, you're going to bend your elbows. All right, so you should, this is a quadratus lumborum stretch, so you may be feeling it back here, hopefully. And we bend right here. And we're going to take that up, lift that arm up, right? And open towards the ceiling, get a good pec stretch in there, and then bring it around. You're really twisting around and then down. And let's switch legs. All right, almost done. So we want that right knee, center of the mat, that back knee has that opposite rotation happening. You're gonna turn your chest so that center of your chest is with that knee, and we're gonna hinge forward, okay? And then bend the elbows. So honestly, you may feel this in the glutes, you may not. You might feel it in your back, right? You might feel some pinching in your hip joint. So that's the thing with group stretching, right? Is that all our bodies are so different. So think of pushing out into this hip, like push and reach through that hip, right? And come down. You can come all the way down if you have the flexibility to do that. And then, so we're gonna come up, we're gonna take this into that quadratus lumborum stretch. So just walking over towards your right here, yeah? Until your body kind of just stops. And then we're gonna bend. So I'm bending, I'm feeling this through my back right here. My QL is what we call it. Bending those elbows. And then I'm gonna take this arm up, open up for a good pec stretch. Woo. And then I'm gonna come around and reach and twist. And then all the way up, I'm swinging my legs back here. I'm gonna take a big inhale. Woo. And exhale. All right, so hopefully you like that. If you have any questions, you can always text me or email me. If you wanna like send me a video of yourself doing something to see if it's right, I'm happy to give you corrections. So anyhow, I hope you have a great Thursday. Enjoy whatever you're doing today. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Sorry about that glitch in the beginning. All right, bye-bye.